Well, let's go to Ukraine now, where the country's defense minister, Alexei Reznikov, says that a force of 1 million people is being pulled together to help in the fight against Russia. Well, joining me now for his analysis of the situation is the defense and security analyst, Professor Michael Clarke. And it's great to have you here with us, Professor. So 1 million, really? Is that realistic?
In the longer run, it probably is, not immediately, because the Ukrainians it's a country of 44 million people, and they have got a reserve force in which 300,000 of them, of the almost 1 million in the reserves, have served in the Donbass in recent years. They've got an army of 125,000. So, I mean, I reckon that they've got potentially an army of about 400,000 troops, which is a lot more than the Russians have got there. And they can probably arm other people. They wouldn't all be soldiers, but they'd be border guards, militia, different internal security people. So, yes, it's plausible. What Reznikov was really getting at, I think, is saying that we have ambitions to liberate the south of the country. The Ukrainians are already pushing quite a big offensive incursion. We may see some really dramatic events there in the next couple of weeks. But eventually, he's saying, we will liberate the south part of the country. What it really reflects is the fact that come the autumn, if the Ukrainians can hang on, then the pendulum will begin to swing back towards them militarily on present trends. If the Russians don't do something pretty dramatic, then the pendulum will swing against Russian forces and towards Ukrainian forces.
Now, looking at events last week, Russia managed to successfully take the Luhansk region. Is that momentum likely to continue?
Well, in the longer run, it probably is in the next couple of months, but the Russians never take an area and then keep on moving. They have to take and stop and take and stop. That's what they do, partly because they rely so much on artillery and they've got to get their artillery pieces into a new position, and they seem to need to be able to take a rest. They're not very good at maintaining momentum. We thought they would be, but they haven't, by and large. The Ukrainians are falling back towards Slaviansk and Kramatorsk, just south of Slaviansk. Those are the big strategic targets. And there's a couple of other cities, I mean, Bakhmut and Seversky on the way to Slaviansk will be very important waypoints. And we'll see how that develops. But it won't develop over the next couple of days, more likely to be the next couple of weeks. And in the meantime, what the Ukrainians are doing, they're using their rockets that they've got now from America, from Britain, from other countries, their long-distance rockets, to target Russian ammunition bases and command centres. And they've put a lot of targets together in this whole area, particularly of Donetsk. And in fact, they seem to have reduced Russian ammunition stocks quite considerably, because the Russians, given that they operate in a more centralised way, have got ammunition stocks in known places. They can't disperse them very well. The Ukrainians know where they are, and now they can target them fairly accurately. So there's been a series of strikes over the last few days, which have been quite dramatic. We'll see what difference it makes ultimately, but the Ukrainians are trying to slow the Russian advance down long enough for the pendulum to swing back in their favour, which it probably will towards the end of the summer, early autumn.
Professor Michael Clarke, always great to get your analysis. Thank you.